We are talking to Charles Gladstone. He is the co-owner of Feather Wedge restaurant in Rockport, Massachusetts. Hi, Charles. How are you?
Hi, I'm great.
Yeah. So tell us how business has been, evolving for you during this crisis.
Well, it has been an experience. I was actually on vacation when the sort of in March when things really erupted, and it became clear very quickly that the things were deteriorating at a kind of an alarming pace, and we ended up sort of cutting short our vacation and coming home. And by the time I got back here, Stephen had already many of our people had already left, and the restaurant was already basically just doing takeout. It was just beginning the first few days of takeout, and since then we've really sort of had to change our business kind of pretty dramatically. We've instituted a whole online takeout ordering program, which is accessed through our website, and we've really sort of focused the menu on things that are takeout friendly, that are dishes that that can stand up to being put into a container and being sealed up for a short period of time and then appearing on your table. It's amazing how when you think about a lot of food, particularly the kind of food that we cook, if it isn't delivered to the table within minutes, it begins to sort of change. The character of it changes. Things that are crispy aren't crispy anymore, and so there are lots of things that you have to think about, and we've been trying to do that. It's been, I have to say, we've had really great support from the community. The town of Rockport has been tremendous in terms of helping us to keep going. I think the governor has been fantastic about the way he's communicated with the public and kept things moving while doing his best to keep us safe. I mean, I think it's been really, tremendous how people have reacted in general. And we're chugging along. We're encountering new obstacles, hurdles all the time as more and more restaurants are now coming back online with takeout. The competition is growing, and so it's definitely difficult. And our business is certainly way below what it was, but we've had help from the federal government through the programs that they have, and so we're pleased about that. That's helpful, and hopefully, once it's always evolving, but once that settles, we hope that will continue to look positive for us. We don't really know 100% until we get through this period of time, the next couple of months, how that's going to happen.
So you've been able to stay, it sounds like you've been able to stay open through takeout almost from the start. Is that right?
We have been. We never really stopped. We never closed for this event. We are open now Thursday through Sunday. At first we were open Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then we added Sundays into the mix. We've been experimenting a little bit with opening for takeout during the day. On those days we're only open for dinner, but we've been experimenting now with adding lunch service on the weekends if the weather's good. That's been a bit slow. It's interesting. People come by and they look in the windows, but they don't seem to really engage. And I don't know whether they're eating elsewhere or whether they sort of come to town not expecting to eat, or what's happening. We had a pretty vibrant Sunday business going prior to the virus, but that has completely evaporated. And so we will continue along and try to keep trying to find imaginative ways to, provide good quality dining in a new format.
Well, we were talking to Anthony Catarano at Tono the other day, and he had set up this market and so you can purchase latex gloves and produce and all sorts of things. So restaurants are doing different creative models.
Everybody's trying to figure out a different way. One of the things that we've been doing is we run family-oriented specials every week. We've done an Italian dinner special where we offer a package of really nicely made homemade bolognese sauce with good quality dry pasta, freshly grated cheese, a nice salad, freshly made dressing, good garlic bread. You know, just a simple Italian dinner that feeds a family of four for, you know, not a lot more than you would have to pay if you went to the grocery store and bought all the pieces, and you don't have to spend the afternoon making the bolognese. This past week, we did a Provençal picnic with, you know, salad niçoise and a roast chicken and different types of cheeses and, you know, baguette, some salads, that kind of thing. And that was well received as well. We've also done an Indian dinner kit for 4 people. That was probably actually the best received of all, and kind of the most fun because the food was really something that you would not find otherwise on Cape Ann. And it was all Indian dishes that were all made from scratch. So the chef and the cooks that we have here are incredibly versatile and had some experience. The chef had some experience cooking Indian food. I've cooked a lot of Indian food over the years, and I'm quite an advocate for Indian flavors. And so I made this run to the Indian grocery store and bought a huge load of spices and came back, and we spent an entire day just mixing spices and toasting all these different things and making these 4 dishes that were incredible. You know, very sort of complex flavors, very fresh. And really wonderful, and people loved it. So I think we will continue to do more of that. I've always felt that the way we can sort of distinguish ourselves is by really looking at what the cuisines of the world are. And you know, like you, Heather, I'm a cook myself, and so I have hundreds of cookbooks, and I never stop, you know, buying more and reading the internet, and you know, I mean, I read the newspaper. It's probably the first column I look at is the cooking column. And so I'm always interested in cooking and the flavors and cuisines of all different cultures. And that's really been a fun part, is to be able to, you know, have a place to do that. And now, particularly with the chef that we have now, Federico Chun, who has a lot of experience, and is wonderfully versatile and very eager to try different things or to go back to things he knows in the past. This week he's going to be doing, he is from Guatemala, and he will be cooking this week a Guatemalan chicken dish called hokan, which is made with tomatillos and green peppers and all sorts of fresh herbs, and it has this kind of wonderful, slightly spicy, very velvety green sauce over pieces of boneless chicken. I mean, he made it, and I was like, absolutely, we have to have this.
That sounds delicious. So that will be on the menu, but that won't be part of these. There won't be a
on the menu. That won't be the dinner special this week. I think will probably be an Italian special again. Okay. But it's always kind of an interesting mix of trying to find what people are comfortable with. You know, you can sort of push the boundaries a little bit and see. I mean, I was really amazed at how well the Indian kit really went incredibly well. Sometimes people, if they're not that comfortable outside their zone, but other times they get more adventurous. And I like to, of course, I'm always looking for something new. But this Guatemalan dish is like, you know, intensely flavorful comfort food. You know, it's really they're not. If you like even a moderate amount of spice, I think you would be very happy having this, and it's a new experience for people. So I like that.
It sounds like it's what we all want right now. Corey, I have a question.
Well, I just know, Charles, are you attuned to what the reopening task group in Rockport is up to now? And it would even be possible for Feather and Wedge, like if there was street closures, to have alfresco dining or anything like that? Has that been discussed?
Well, it's interesting. We're just, we're all kind of talking constantly. The contact is quite good, actually. Michelle Brown on the Cultural District Commission has been in touch with us, and we have like an online group that meets to discuss all sorts of things. Ross Brackett up the street has been working on issues about, they have like a whole reopening group that they put together, and they have been talking about more alfresco dining options. We at Feather Wedge don't have a lot of outdoor space. In fact, we have no outdoor space. However, there is a public pier down just to the side of the restaurant that would be a wonderful place for people to, even if they just came and bought a picnic and went and sat there, big flat rocks down there, and places where you can really be spaced apart and outdoors and dine outside. And I think that the whole idea of picnicking outside is a really, really good alternative, dining format, regardless of the current situation. I mean, what could be better than having a picnic outside? Through the summer, we will definitely be offering lots of different picnicking alternatives and putting together packages that, if you were to do it yourself, it would be really inconvenient. But for us, by doing a lot of them at the same time, we can assemble lots of different pieces and make for a really grand picnic for people.
I once wrote a column before Feather and Wedge was open saying the best seat in Rockport is a bench. And, just go get a great sandwich and park yourself down, because it's such a great picnicking town, right?
There are so many places. One of the things that I'd like to do is make a little map to show people places that they can go and sit where they can have some space. And I think the whole thing, and what I'm sure the town would like, is to see people moving away from the center of town, coming and buying things and then moving away. And there are so many outdoor locations where they can have some space and not be on top of one another and have a better experience anyway.
The Headlands, isn't that the best place for a picnic?
Headlands is fabulous. How about the top of Granite Pier? If you went,
yes,
went way up there and just drove your car up there. I mean, there's so much space up there. The pier below the restaurant here, the lumber wharf, is an amazing place. Millbrook Meadow would be a good place.
White Wharf.
There are many.
Yeah. There's so many great seats. Yeah. So, how about your staff, Charles? How are they holding up?
So the staff has been, it's a challenge because there are so many staff people that we love, and many of whom, left because we just didn't have enough employment for anybody. Right now, we're running a kitchen with really 3 people cooking. All of them have been with us for a period of time. Federico is in charge, and then we have a guy named Liam Bowden downstairs who does a lot of the desserts and the salads, and it's wonderful to work with. And then Federico's stepson, Carlos Almendarez, who went to the Rockport schools and whatever, has been cooking with us. He's had a lot of experience as well, cooking in Salem, cooking at Tono. He's not inexperienced at all. So it's great. They're wonderful to work with, all of them. Very agreeable and creative and versatile. I love it because I can have this conversation with them about different things and say, well, why don't you go try why don't you try doing this, or they'll come up with ideas and I'm like, yeah, let's go do it. Let's try it. And because we're so small, there's a lot of flexibility. We like to change our menu all the time. So, that's the fun. And that part of it goes on.
And are you getting a lot of this great local fish that's suddenly available?
Absolutely. We're always getting great fish locally. Now at this point, we get fish 2 to 3 times a week. We always try to run at least 2 different fish items on the menu. Federico's supposed to come in shortly. We'll talk about what's going to be on the menu this week, but I'm sort of thinking that we probably will do something. I would love to do a risotto with lobster and mussels in it, and I'm sure we'll do something probably with cod, and I don't know what else. It's just a conversation. We talk, and then we see what's in the market that looks good, and sometimes we have a plan, and then I go to I do a lot of the sourcing, and so I'll go and look for it, and then they'll say, well, no, the price has really gone up for this, but we have this. And so it's very easy working with him because I can just call him up and say, what do you think about changing this to that, or you know, if we got this, you have an idea how you would want to use it. And it's great. It's a really nice conversation.
Great.
And also the farms are all starting to open up again, which is great. So there's going to be a lot more vegetables, fresh local vegetables available, which has always been, you know, has always been what we love using.
Yeah, you're great supporters of local food. So, Corey, any last questions for Charles?
Well, I just don't know, Charles, if you had a message for your customers now that we're entering almost the 11th week of the new now.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't understand it.
I just didn't know if you had a message for your customers now that we're almost pushing 3 months.
The message I would say is, you know, continue to please visit our website and visit us on Instagram or Facebook and see what we're doing. We watch your business and we want to do stuff that's interesting. And, you know, we hope, you know, of course we want to reopen, but we really want to reopen when it's safe. And we are not eager to reopen before we feel like people can have a safe and enjoyable experience. So in the meantime, we want to provide the best service we can. And if you have friends who don't know about us, please tell them about us as well. That's what I'd say.
Great. Well, I look forward to a picnic soon.
Great. I'll look for your order, and please stay in touch. Be well.
Be well.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Thanks for your time, Charles.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.